Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Python dispatcher. So the Python dispatcher has gone through various evolutions. We're going to talk about the very first implementation because it's going to give us the intuition, and future iterations really are just performance optimizations. Okay, so as a refresher, what is a dispatcher? A dispatcher is a way that PyTorch does multiple dispatch. And the most common case is, let's say you do a torch.add. You actually want to do more than just invoke, say, a CUDA kernel. You might actually want to invoke the AutoGrad engine to write a node to the backwards tape such that when you're doing back propagation, you've kept all of the bookkeeping, right? And so in practice, the dispatcher, you have just like this bunch of jumping between callables. So what is a Python dispatcher? A Python dispatcher is basically a key that was added that is very high up at the stack. And when it hits a key, it will invoke a Python function. And in this Python function, this Python dispatcher function, it will actually do some dispatching itself. So now let's look at how this is actually implemented. So first off, if we look at dispatch key.h, we see that we've added this Python dispatcher key. If we look at def Python dispatcher, we can see that this is the Python function we were talking about earlier, this thing. And what does this code do? It basically creates a one-line Python program. It just creates some file name. It compiles this one-line Python program, and then it invokes it. And what this will invoke is the operator registry. So let's go take a look at that. So let's understand this through the lens of an actual operator. So if we look here, this is the torch.compile higher order operator. And as you can see, the way that it's registered is via this PyOperator class. And we're going to look at it in a second, but I just want you to also notice that after creating this higher order operator, we register a bunch of callables to various dispatch keys. So in this case, we have this like CPU dispatch key and an AutoGrad dispatch key. And the contract is basically, hey, whenever I have this con operator, if I invoke the CPU dispatch key, I want you to call this Python callable. Okay, so now let's look at PyOperator and see how the magic happens. So what you'll notice is this PyOperator has this PyImpl method. And this PyImpl method is basically adding to this dict of like key or mode to callable. And you might wonder, how is it the case that earlier when we were compiling that one-line Python code, like how does it find this PyOperator? And the way it's done is via this PyOp namespace thing. So when you call the constructor of this, it will actually add it to this global. And this global is used here, right? So when you get an operator, we actually check this dict. So if we go back to this Python dispatcher function, when we invoke this, it will actually call the getAttr of the ops registry, and the getAttr of the ops registry will check that dict. And if you've registered these PyOperators, it will actually find something in the dict, and it can just invoke it in Python. And so yeah, like at a high level, that's kind of what the Python dispatcher does. And if you ever look at higher order operators and you see these like PyImpl statements, that's kind of what's happening behind the scenes. Maybe the last thing I'll show you is just how this is actually implemented in C++. So the first thing is you'll notice that there is a dispatch key.h, and we've added a Python dispatcher dispatch key. And then the other thing is that there's this new function. There's this new function Python dispatcher, this concrete Py interpreter vtable. And in this function, we get the pointer to the Python dispatcher function we saw earlier, and we invoke it. And so it's literally this diagram where we register this Python dispatcher dispatch key. It comes down here. We go through the pointer to the Python dispatcher, and then that's how the magic happens. Okay, this is all I want to talk about. Hopefully this was useful. I'm going to do a few more of these like one-off videos just to kind of force my understanding, but if there's anything else that's confusing, please let me know and I can make another video.